evening, morning, afternoon, whichever one it is. Keep watching if you want to find out how I turn this charity store find into this. Here we have what I thought was a Mark III Iron Man armour from the films, but upon closer inspection it seems that it's not. If anyone knows what type of armour this is, please let me know in the comments. So to start with, I wanted to make this look like it was battle damaged from the Battle of Gulmira from the first film, one of my favourite scenes from the entire MCU. First thing I did was prime it with Vallejo Surface Primer, the acrylic polyurethane one. Then I gave it a very brief zenithal highlight just to help me out in terms of shading. I then gave a very light covering of Vallejo Carmine Red. Then I moved on to using Vallejo White and painted all of the little details like the eyes and the art reactor, things like that. Gave them a white covering. Once I'd done that, I gave the first coat of gold. I used Vallejo Old Gold for this. I just wanted it to look a little bit richer, have that sort of richness as a base coat. And you can tell I'm a bit of a novice at this because I then gave a coat of Vallejo Metallic Copper because I wanted a metallic sheen to the finish, with the hope of putting a red over the top of it, but it didn't quite work out that way. I then put a second coat of gold on. This was just a Vallejo Gold. You can see here that I'm picking bits of the polyurethane primer off. So I need to rethink how I prime these figures in future. I gave a covering of Vallejo Red and then Vallejo Polyurethane Gloss Varnish. It was at this point I think I'd lost most of the copper underneath. Oh well. I then got Vallejo Silver and went on giving all the silver trim a nice little finish. Next, it doesn't really show on the camera, but I wasn't that happy with the red finish, so I used some more Vallejo Red going over the red parts of the armour, just trying to make the red a bit more intense. Next I added some more gold, just Vallejo plain gold, metallic gold, just along the edges of where the gold is, just tidying up the paintwork, trying to make it nice and neat. So at this stage Iron Man was looking pretty smart. He was nice and tidied up. Nice and shiny, vibrant red, vibrant gold. So it's time to give him some weathering. I started off with an oil wash to do some panel lining, a bit of a pin wash. So I mixed up a little bit of oil paint, black oil paint, with some low odour white spirit mixed up in a jar, and then just dabbed it on various pieces across his armour, trying to pick out the panel lines. I think it worked out quite effective. It was very satisfying to do, and just looking at this simple panel lining, it's aged him quite well, I think. There are some bits that I think I'd missed out, so I went back again, filling in gaps and just generally trying to make the armour look a bit worn and torn, because in the film he lands brand new, but he gets pretty scuffed up in that fight, so I just wanted to reflect that. However, I didn't want him to look like an oil streaked mess. So I used some kitchen roll to wipe him down, a little bit of white spirit to help me out there, because it was more of a sort of sandy rubbly battle than getting completely covered in oil. So what I started to do next was again using oil, but this time with a brown, just trying to scuff up the armour with some mud, bits of grimy effect, again using the oil paint mixed with white spirit to do this. So you can see here I've started using a lighter colour just to give that bit of variation like you do with these things. What happened next was a big old flare up in my health. So when it came to making the base, I just wanted to get it done, but I didn't have the energy to film it and all the things that entails. So the base was just a picture frame. I used sand, Mod Podge mix with some black acrylic paint. I also got a couple of stones from the garden, put them in, and made a sort of rubbly, sandy base for Iron Man to stand on. What I did with the base, with the frame, was I painted it with a Mod Podge acrylic mix, and then I sanded it down to give it a nice finish, because the frame had a lot of lumpy grain in it. What I didn't do was mark out where he should have been standing. The feet didn't really fit, and I tried to glue him with a glue gun to start off with, which probably wasn't the greatest of ideas. So here we go, trying to put some more glue on, and oh dear, he fell off. Didn't see that coming. I'm not putting pegs in. I didn't put pegs in because I'm not sure this will be a permanent solution, and I wanted to be able to snap it off eventually, just in case. So second time around, I marked out where the feet should go, drew around it. I used super glue as well with some accelerant because I'm pretty impatient when it comes to stuff like this. Then I went back to the glue gun just to solidify that connection in a quick way, again because of my patience. Once that had dried, I added on some PVA glue so this could have sand dropped onto it. I just scraped the PVA glue, just trying to settle it into its surroundings more, make it look a bit more natural so his feet don't look like they're hovering above the ground. Then I added some sand all around, blending it in. Once I'd done that, I went around the frame, painted it in just a matte black acrylic to smarten it up. Then I started dry brushing over the entire base just to try and blend the colours together. I started off with quite a dark, not too dark, but a darker ochre, and then I worked up towards a sort of ivory colour, dusting all over that with quite a heavy dry brush because it was quite a sort of a sandy scene in the film, and I figured that would blend everything together. I then started dry brushing over the Iron Man figure just to make it look like he'd got more of that environment on him, because I mean he did take a tank shell to the face and fall and smash and all that, so he got pretty dirty. I wanted to reflect that. Nothing too technical about it really. And with that, he was finished. it's done, my first YouTube project. Yeah, there's a few things that I know I could have done better in terms of the editing, in terms of making the actual thing, in terms of the painting, the finishes, but I think as a first attempt it's okay. Please let me know in the comments if you can think of any ways I can improve this. I've got a few other projects lying around half finished. I've got some ideas in my head, and with the incentive of getting these projects finished for YouTube videos, I'm hoping to actually get them finished. All dependent on my health, of course, but we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this, please like, please subscribe. It'll help a lot. I think that's how it works. Goodbye for now. I hope this is the first of many to come. I'll see you later.